e2, you can certainly continue the game for a bit. And then we have another Gioco Piano, someone to
tournament leader against, well, actually it's the tournament leader against the Dutch star, but we could also call them the oldest participant.
Is this problematic for Hikaru? I'm not sure. Can you go here?
And your idea is that when I get to e3 with the king, you will just give me a check, and but
Yeah,
I can head to the other flank, maybe king d4, king c3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if black has enough activity or probably not.
King f8 was played. And
Start with king f8, yeah, sensible.
f3 is actually what you've been analyzing, and now we'll see if he plays bishop c2 or something else, but there's not much he can try. He can also go for bishop f5 or bishop g6, but it's going to be passive.
Yeah, you could also put it here and just
And if the king comes?
do nothing. Well, it's going to be very hard to attack this pawn, but slightly unpleasant. Should not be big trouble, but you have to be careful.
If the bishop is on that diagonal, he could just bring the king to d3 and then try to maneuver with the rook.
Yeah, but still not so easy to find inroads into the position there. But there are certainly some ways to make progress. What's Vichy done?
After d5, how did he react?
I never worry about Anish. And Hikaru decided to keep his bishop on this diagonal, when bishop f5, king f2, a5, at least exchanging a couple pawns if white wants to go b4, and possibly clearing the a file for his rook. He's slightly worse, but
g4 has been played by Wesley, so expanding on the king side, forcing this bishop to go to g6 or c2.
yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. Bishop e6 is probably not what you want, because this king is going to be quite strong on d3. So yeah, Hikaru, slightly unpleasant task of defending this tad worse position against Wesley, so who has been extremely solid in these events, hasn't won a lot of games, but hasn't lost any so far.
Yeah, he doesn't have any problems at all. It seems like in Paris he was also one of the most stable players, and here as well he just makes a draw or wins. Never gets into trouble. And now we see a close. Yeah, rook e5, rook e3 could be. So if rook c1, rook e5, and rook e3, trying to activate the rook as quickly as possible. If not, the king gets to d3, and white can attack the pawn with rook c1, rook c4, and then rook even b4, rook a4, depending on where the black rook is.
Yeah, so Wesley decided to keep the bishop on the board, played bishop d3, blocking it, but the bishop also blocks his king's rightful square. On d3, Hikaru decides to establish his bishop on b3, stopping b4. Maybe he wants to cement it with a4 to make the c5 pawn a bit of a weakness. Feels like this has improved Hikaru's situation a bit. Rook d2, now he can start thinking about rook d5. I guess currently runs into bishop e4, and maybe he doesn't want that. Even this, not sure if this is trouble.
He has played rook c8.
Yeah, it might be a bad move to avoid bishop e4 with tempo. Could still transpose to the line after bishop e4. I don't really see anything better than grabbing the pawn on c5.
Yeah, I believe it will transpose to the line you mentioned. But still, it's surprising that Wesley allowed bishop b3, which really seems to improve black's position.
Wondering what he wants here. Maybe you can play rook c2. But no, it has to be something better. No, b2 is kind of weak, so you move like bishop to e6 with rook d4, rook b5. Yeah, it looks like black should hold the balance without any particular trouble here. Bishop e4, rook takes c5 is on the board. Both guys lost in thought. Let's go somewhere else. Who wants to see these guys think?
Which game shall we see? The oldest against the youngest here in the commentary booth. Congratulations on your results so far. How satisfied are you with the tournament?
Well, I have 5 draws, so it could be better, but at the same time it could be worse. So I'm pretty happy how it is now. Obviously, I want to fight for first place. So I have to start winning games because Vichy is winning almost every other game that he plays.
Can we state that you are the most stable player of the event? Also in Paris, you were maybe the only one who has never blundered, and here as well, you are just very stable.
We'll see. After the event, we can draw conclusions. But for now, I just want to focus on the remaining 3 games for today. At the same time, this rapid stage is very important. It's more important than the blitz because you gain double of what you score.
That's true.
The game against Hikaru looked like some controlled offensive. Do you think you were better in this endgame, or was it just equal? We thought maybe had some pressure, but...
Yeah, I remember analyzing this after I played Rook D1 and Bishop C4. And I remember White is supposed to be better. But I probably misplayed it a little bit. Also, Hikaru plays the endgame extremely well. It's one of his strengths. So he defended really well. Here, maybe instead of King F2, I should have gone B4 first after B, so that he doesn't have the A5 idea. But at the same time, it doesn't mean anything much for White. At the same time, I have to be a little bit careful not to exchange the bishops because then he has got pass pawn.
What's your approach to the openings in a tournament like that? Because I see you're playing very theoretical lines. Do you treat it like the same like a classical tournament, or are you trying to hide some of your best novelties or ideas for classical chess? How do you feel about it?
Well, I'm not hiding any ideas because I don't have much. But also ideas come and go, and as you know, opening theory changes every day. So I see no point at hiding any ideas. At the same time, I'm not playing a world championship match anytime soon. But also I try to play what I know the best. So I don't want to play strange first moves.
Our last question is, how do you like it here in Belgium? How's it playing in the town hall of Leuven?
Well, very nice. Beautiful city, and you know, to be able to play here in the city hall in front of the church in the middle of the city is really good, and I'm really honored that everybody's here to follow the games. After a very good experience in Paris, we couldn't expect anything less here in Leuven, and our expectations have been well met. And yeah, three games to go for today.